Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you're on the planet. Today we're going to talk about the fisherman's friend, the fish. As you know, there's a little fish on the bottom right corner of the drawing, and that fish is what we when I got that map in hand first time, I didn't pay attention to it because there was so much instruction, so much wording, so many drawn features that your eye doesn't pay much attention to that detail on the bottom right corner. And anyways, what you're going to do with the fish? It's got nothing to do with the riddle and nothing to do with Oak Island and etc. And we're going to discover together the fish is maybe the most important feature on the whole map. And I left the last video at this stage where I explained I could draw lines based on some alignment I would see, but I didn't have any method to draw them. And by pure chance, when I was overlaying this map with my visual lines, I would match more or less dot to dots overlays on Oak Island. And on the last video, I showed you how I got that red line there. And again, I didn't have any method. I found some words in there, le trou sous la trappe. I said, okay, it's trappe, trou, attrape, l'attrape, le trou, catch, grab the hole. Then I read the catch at the bottom, the bar, which is the sea bass, and I deducted I needed to grab the eye of the sea bass. And I was wrong. And again, if I had a method and if I had the book to decode that thing, the video would be 10 minutes, and here it is. So it's really trial and error. And again, it's without dot to dots work, I couldn't verify and validate the approaches. So dot to dot knock on my shoulder when they're saying, your fish, you know what? When you go fishing, you don't grab a fish by the eye. The bait, that is the worm, and the worm is a ver in French, by the way, another form of ver. The worm goes directly to the mouth there. So from now on, I'm using that convention, and the little secret is that because it also works perfectly on this map. But without this, and again, that's one of the things that puzzles me with this map is, as we don't have clear instruction, my interpretation was not that bad. Grab the hole, etc., and I was making a mistake. So, to what extent did the person who got that map also get a set of instruction on the side? Something like, you need the fish and you need to read it this way, and I don't know, but we don't have that. So we're gonna have to allow trial and error, and our verification book is Dot to Dot's website. And I will never thank whoever made us meet at the same time on the same research on the same path and it's incredible. So that's where we were left, and I'm going to show you now that there is a method and it's linked with the fish. And I found that late after late, we revealed everything in a week, so that was after the third day. This is the idea. You got your fish here and you got your map on the left, and pay close attention to this fish. If you were to draw a fish, I'm going to try. Insert. Can I have a free shape thing? Maybe. Let's draw a fish. And I'm not very good drawer at all. But that's how I would represent if I was to represent a fish. That easy. And what we see on the picture there, it's a bit more elaborate. You can see the fin, the backbone fin, is one of the little V's. That's the secret. That's a little V. That's a little worm. I call them worms now. You can find them in many places on the map, and if you want to have fun, just check how many you will find. We found several. And this one's got two. It's got one here at the back and one here at the tail. And I came to learn by working out the map that those V's was very important. Very often they say a little VR, like la voûte en bas de terre, VR. V wanders with no purpose. And we believe that's the V we're talking about, and there are several. And from our experience, every time there's a V, there's some feature very important to use, really. And that will repeat and reveal and prove itself. So first of all, we can see those two V's. Second of all, it took me time, but Yes, there is an arrow there. There is an arrow. If you look at this, there is an arrow going from that point, which is very precise. It's the intersection of two segments that are perpendicular to the tip of the tail there. So I saw the two arms. I can see that arrow, what I call the backbone arrow, and I can see an anse. That was shaped like a bay. An anse is a bay also in French, and that was shaped like a bay. And that was shaped more or less like the island they're proposing us. So I took my fish, I brought it next to the island, and then it positions very well. Let me zoom very closely there on the right hand side. Yeah. When you match the eye of the fish with that hole there and you tilt it, and I haven't calculated the degree, that'd be interesting. There is a way to link all those dots together with the fish, except la encre. They are not linked. But you'll notice la encre are the two ones with the point, dot as a termination. All the other ones don't. So I think that's a message there. So here I can pretty much link everything, and now I've got like a racetrack. My arrow was going from the fin to the tail, and I just have to walk the fish, and at each station decode the riddle, and you see it matches. Everything's fine. And the question is where to start from. And I believe it's here. Enter here. Entrez ici. That's your first point. And or it is the arrow. Sorry, the back of the arrow there, the V. I'm not sure because there's no instruction. At the end of the day, it's not that important because you're gonna work out the riddles anyway, and the way they conceived. If you're wise and smart enough to work the riddle, you're wise and smart enough to whatever sequence they give you the instruction, you're gonna make it out anyways. Because that's how I found by mistake the link the fish to the anchor to the fishing rod on the set of Sept Dessins pour Monsieur François Ier. So I made several attempts putting that fish on that island, and on my first batch of videos last week that I removed now, I got it wrong. I would put it vertically. Now I realize, I think I worked that out last night, that there is a way to connect all of them, which is another, tap on the shoulder from the author saying you got it right. You managed to put all those dots into a single line. So what we got to do now is we've got to work the riddles out, and that will be the topic of our next video. We saw that I found by mistake trou sous la trappe, and that was wrong. It was not about grabbing a hole. Maybe it is too. I mean, some of them get several meanings. Some of them I managed to get 3 or 4 different riddles, conducting to 3 or 4 different conclusions on the map. So this is wicked. You never know when to stop. And you can play with those letters and words and some forever. So what we're going to do is, on the next video, we're going to start arbitrarily, because I think that's the start point, with La voûte en bas de la terre. Then we will move first to this crossing where you get Les Îles des Chênes. There are several riddles underneath. And we're going to move to the tail. We're going to deal with the anse. And surprisingly, le trou sous la trappe is coming then next. As you see, it's la soupape. Le trou sous la trappe is there. Oh, I made a mistake. So the trou sous la trappe is there. And then, la soupape disappeared. So my bad. So I need to add la soupape there. It's pretty, that's not very good. I'm sorry, but you got the idea. It's offset there. It's on the left. So yes, I need to add that for the right sequence. So if we see here, you start with the voûte, and you're going down. You hit le trou sous la trappe, then la anse, then you come back to la soupape. Then you have to deal with the Île des Chênes. You have to deal with it on the way too. I think you have to do it twice. And then you're dealing with the triangle, the bassin, the barrage, les entrailles d'Andoyette, and you finish with le triangle de pierre and le chêne. And voilà, that's how to do it. I'm sorry I missed the soupape on my drawing, but that's what we're going to do in the next video. Thank you for watching. And you see, this is exciting. There's a method. There is something. It's not by chance. There is something happening there. And that fish, we'll use it over and over again for other purposes. But that's a cliffhanger. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.